Basics of pregnancy. So let us start with basics of pregnancy. So here we'll start a discussion like what is the time period of pregnancy. Everyone knows the time period of pregnancy is 9 months plus 7 days, or in other words you can say it is like about 280 days, okay, or you can say 10 lunar months, okay, according to lunar 10 lunar months, and according to weeks you can say 40 weeks. So 9 months plus 7 days or 280 days or 10 lunar months or 40 weeks is the usual duration of pregnancy. So this duration which we are saying is from the first day of last menstrual period. So that is we know already that we say 4 weeks of pregnancy. So that one from the first day of last menstrual period we count this basics of duration of pregnancy. So now coming to, if we'll see different names of the pregnancy, like if the, as you said, the normal pregnancy is 40 weeks, right? So if it is less than, if the delivery is less than 30 weeks, if someone is delivering less than 30 weeks, then it is called preterm delivery. And if someone is delivering uh, greater than or equal to 42 weeks, then it is called post-term delivery. So post-term delivery, according to the days, you can say 294 days. So normal pregnancy is 280 days, right? But here you can say 294 days. It is greater than 42 weeks because normally 40 weeks. If less than 40 weeks, or you can say less than 37 weeks, it is preterm delivery. Greater than 42 weeks, it is post-term delivery. Okay, now coming to what is term delivery, means what is exact time, exact range of delivery. That is from 37 to 41 weeks plus 6 days. So you can see here clearly 37 weeks because we are saying less than 37 means preterm. Greater than 42 means postterm. So it is the normal range is between 37 to 41 plus 6 days. So this is the normal range of delivery. So actually in term delivery only, this is in turn divided into 3 types. That is early term, term and late term. So what is this? In the term delivery only, if it is too early, that is it will be from 37 week to 38 week plus 6 days, it is early term. Term delivery means from 39 week to 40 week plus 6 days, and late means from 41 week to 41 week plus 6 days. So these are the subdivisions within the term delivery. So once again let me repeat this. Normal delivery is 40 weeks. Okay. So if less than 37 weeks delivery, you say preterm. If greater than 42, you will say postterm. So normal duration of term is from between 37 to 41 plus 6 days. So in the term, it is in turn divided into 3 types: early term, late term. Early term is from 37 to 38 weeks plus 6 days. Term is from 39 to 40 weeks plus 6 days. Late is from 41 to 41 plus 6 days. So this is very important. Now let us see how to calculate EDD. EDD is nothing but the end determination date of pregnancy, like on which day end delivery determination, like on which day you can say this delivery may happen. So to determine this, you have one formula that is called as Naegele's formula. So what is this Naegele's formula? So for this we need to take an example. We have a female whose first last menstrual period is on 1st January. Okay, so then you'll assume a normal 28 day cycle. So on 14th day you'll think it has ovulated. So on 14th day there will be fertilization. So in this normal female, always actually what we do in this Naegele's formula is we take the first last menstrual period that day plus 9 months. We'll do 9 months plus 7 days. So this is the formula. So actually for this date number 1, for this you will add 7 days, means 8th. Okay, for this January you will add 9 months, means it will go to October, right? January means February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, right? So on 8th October, this is a end delivery determination date. So on 8th October this female may have delivery, right? So like this you can determine the delivery days by using Nagel's formula. So there's a problem, like some females may don't have exactly 28 day cycle. Some female may have less than 28 day cycle. Some female may have some female may have less than 28 cycle. Some female may have greater than 28 day cycle. So what to do in that? So we have other different formulas. Like for example, let us continue this example only. As we said, 8th October is expected date according to 28 days cycle. So here in this female, as the cycle is less than 28 days, what we need to do is we need to minus. For example, if this female cycle is 25 days, then we need to do 28 minus 25. Then what you will get? 5, 6 and 8. So we will get 3. So this 3, what you have to do is, now the expected date is 8th October, right? So 8th October minus 3 days, so that is like about, you can say 7, 6, 5. So on 5th October there may be expected delivery in this female of 25 days cycle. So now if the female cycle is greater than 28 days, for example you take 30 days, then first you need to put this 30 days minus 28, then what you get? You get 2, right? So now what you need to do is just add to that expected date this 2, then you'll get 10th October. So this is how we estimate the delivery in the female with different menstrual cycles. So for example, if you have another female who is completely irregular in menstrual cycles, so if there is irregular, what you need to do is you need to take average mean of past 3 cycles, and you can use the same formula according to, like if you get more than 28, then do this formula. If you get less than 28, do this formula, and you can estimate on which day the delivery may happen. So once again, let us revise it. Normally what we need to do in Nagel's formula, you should take the first last missed period, that date. Okay, so I said on 1st January in this female as example, right? So for this female, what we need to do, we need to add 9 months and we need to add 7 days, so that we can expect the date of delivery. But in some people, this is for a normal 28 day cycle, for normal 28 day cycle female. In some female there is not always 28 day cycle, like if it is less than 28 cycle, we need to use this formula. If greater than 28, use this formula. So now coming to other, like, so this expected day delivery is seen only approximately, the people deliver at this time is only 4% of people. 50% of female may either deliver 1 week later or before. So it is changing in 50% of female, but 4% only will deliver on the same day. So in case of in vitro fertilization, if day 3, if in vitro fertilization transfer is on day 3, then just subtract 16 to get LMP. That is the this one. LMP means what? Last menstrual period. So what they mean, for example, you take this example only. We have said the expected delivery for this female is on 8th October. So 8th October subtracted D3 transfer means on the day 3, if this in vitro fertilization embryo transfer to that female, then you need to do 28 minus 16 first to find out the cycle. Okay, then you'll come to know that in this female there's 22 day cycle, right? So in the case of D5 transfer, subtract 18, okay, to get LMP. So D3 means 16, D5 means 18. So this is one which you need to remember. Next, coming to period of viability. Okay. So period of viability. So what is the normal period of viability? Okay. So So normal period of viability means till which time the fetus is capable of independent existence. According to WHO, the period of viability is 24 weeks, and according to India, the period of viability is 28 weeks, because actually this period of viability will be changing for every country. But the standard WHO value is 24 weeks, in India 28 weeks. Let us see how to find out an obstetric formula. Obstetric formula. So to find out the obstetric formula, you have two methods. One is gravida and one is parity. So what is this gravida and parity? Actually in gravida, you see the number of time the female have conceived irrespective of outcome, like whether that child is live or death or abnormal, anything. In the gravida you see the total number of pregnancies, okay, and you see the pregnancies included while calculating gravida, even the present one, even you will include the present one in it. And multi-fetal pregnancy, like in the case of twins or triplets, like that, you will count them as single, not like if twins means two children, that will not count, okay. So you'll count them as single only. So coming to parity. Parity, in the name itself, if you remember P for P, parity, you will take the past pregnancies of the female beyond the period of viability. Like you will take only those pregnancies which have gone greater than 28 weeks. Okay, this is important. In gravida, you take number of pregnancies, all total, you will take total number of pregnancies, whether they are abnormal, abortion or ectopic, anything. You will take those total number of pregnancies, and you will also include the present pregnancy in that. In the parity, you take all the post pregnancies, but there is a limit, like you will take only the post pregnancies which are greater than 28 weeks, that is which are of viable time. Remember that here, as it is past, here the present is not included, the present status is not included here. And here the multi-fetal pregnancy is also counted as single pregnancy, same like gravida. And note, if pregnancy is terminated before 20 weeks due to any reason, like ectopic, molar, it is counted as abortion here. Okay, so remember that. Note, pregnancy is terminated before 20 weeks. So if any pregnancy which is before 20 weeks, that is called as abortion, and that should be not included in the parity, because in the parity you see all the pregnancies which are greater than 28 weeks, so of course there will be no abortions included in the parity. So the methods of writing gravida and parity are like, this system is called as G-PAL system. Here G represents gravida, P represents parity, A represents number of abortions, that is less than 20 weeks, and L represents number of children which are live now. Okay, so to write this you can use this formula GAX plus Y plus Z. Okay, so now coming to GT-PAL system. Actually this system is not used now, but you can use the GT-PAL system, because you see here in this system you are saying before 20 weeks it's abortion, and greater than 28 weeks only it is viable. Only viables one will be counted in parity, but in parity here we are also including abortion, but this is not viable, so this is a wrong process. So there is a new process called GT-PAL system. So in this system here, G represents gravida, T represents at term. At term means exactly at 36 weeks, and preterm means 20 to 36 weeks plus 6 days, and here A represents the abortion, which is less than 20 weeks, and here L represents the number of living children. So this GT-PAL system is more used nowadays when compared with G-PAL system. So coming to antenatal visits. Antenatal visits, like how many visits should be there? Let us see now. Minimum in India there should be 4 visits, and according to WHO there should be 8 visits, and ideally you can say 12 to 15 visits are normal in antenatal visit. So monthly visit, monthly there should be 28 weeks. So 28 weeks female, 28 weeks pregnant female should visit the doctor monthly, and twice monthly, like monthly twice, this female should consult doctor, that is from 28 to 36 weeks. From 28 to 36 weeks she should consult twice monthly, and weekly, every week she should consult in the case of 36 weeks. So these are very important. So see the antenatal visits. Minimum visits are 4 and according to India, whereas WHO says minimum visits should be 8 and the ideal visits should be 12 to 15. So if the female is 28 weeks pregnant, then she should visit monthly. If the female is from 28 to 36 weeks, this should go to doctor twice monthly. If she is 36, greater than 36 or equal to 36, she should go for every week. So what are the investigations? So now we are going to doctor. So what investigation she or he is going to do? The investigations are, especially you see the blood group, and you will also check out the RH incompatibility, and you will do the urine analysis by using a dipstick method, and you will check at HIV if HIV test, if they will say it's mandatory, but if they are not interested to do this, then also you can leave it, it's okay. And also you do HBS antigen, and also you do VDRL, and also you do pap smear for the first visit, and you do CBC of hemoglobin for the first visit. You do CBC complete blood count on 24 to 28 weeks. And next you see the blood sugar, that is DIPSI on the first visit, that is from 24 to 28 weeks. And trisomy screening, it is not compulsory because it's costly. If someone want to do, they can. It's offered to all pregnant females irrespective of maternal age. Okay, so next coming to group of beta streptococcal screening. Beta streptococcal screening is also done. Here we take a rectovaginal swab. This is seen from 35 to 37 weeks, sent for culture and sensitivity, and help to prevent neonatal sepsis. If screening is positive, then we'll give intravenous penicillin at the active labor. If the person is allergic to it, you will give cefazolin. And if this person is having history of anaphylaxis, you can give vancomycin. Okay, next also you will do the ultrasonography in pregnancy. What ultrasonography is, now we'll discuss that. So coming to ultrasonographies in pregnancy, you do the obstetric imaging, check scan 5 to 6 weeks, you do check scan, and you do dating scan or viability scan from 6 to 8 weeks. So 5 to 6 weeks check scan, 6 to 8 weeks dating scan. This both are single scan. Okay, next you do in the case of intrauterine or ectopic, if you see here in ectopic pregnancy the uterine cavity will be empty, but in the case of intrauterine you will see a gestational sac. Okay, and if you see a gestational sac in a tube, then we do the Doppler test and the ring of fire pattern is seen. Then you can also see a pseudo gestational sac. Next coming to actually what patterns and what you can see, let me write down. If you see gestation sac in tube, you do Doppler and see ring of fire. Okay, and in the case of molar pregnancy, you see snowstorm appearance. And in the case of abortion where MSD is mean sac diameter is greater than 25, it is a blighted ovum. And if it is CRL, that is crown rump length, is greater than 7 millimeters, no cardiac activity, you know this is missed abortion. And next coming to nuchal transculency scan. Nuchal transculency scan is done from 11 to 13 weeks plus 6 days. And in the case of Down syndrome and encephaly, we do this. Next coming to booking scan or level 2 scan, it is done from 18 to 20 weeks. You do targeted scan, anomaly scan. Next coming to growth scan, it is done from 30 to 32 weeks. parameter abdominal circumference, location of placenta, note echo you can do from 22 to 24 weeks. So these are like some important timings where we need to do the scans. Next we'll discuss the signs in early pregnancy, vaccination in pregnancy.